But in the meantime, we've got Mr. Chiman Naji, who he joins us here in the studio. He likes to describe himself as a professional in politics, but he's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much, and good morning.
With this reforms committee going round...
And you didn't add an advocate of good governance.
Oh,
that's
how did I forget that?
That's the supreme one.
Now, how important is this process?
This process is all about good governance. A good electoral process would deliver good governance. And if it is short on that, then it is a bad process. Finito, as they would say. What we have had in this country is a travesty of an electoral process designed for an end for a minuscule number of people that have held this country hostage at various times in its history. That is the problem. When we are serious, we know if you are empaneling a body, you want to hear from the person who is empaneling the body, whether the president or head of state or by whatever way is so described, should have a vision. And that vision should be laid bare, even in the speech. And you see the candor with which that person, the president or by whatever name so described, is delivering that vision. That I want in the next dispensation, or before I leave office, or the person who will succeed me, to have this. For example, can we say, when you are empaneling, you say, I want a depersonalized electoral process, blind as it were, like we say in law, that that justice, the depiction is a blind woman with sword. It dispenses largesse for those who do well, and some kind of penalty for those who do wrong. And it does not see who is doing that. So it doesn't see color, doesn't see creed, no ethnicity, no height issues, and all those primordial variables. The point is that when we get serious, we will look for an electoral process that is so depersonalized and is doable.
Okay, we'll have Mr. Eze back on the line here with us. We did ask, we haven't heard you highlight some of the recommendations of the governor about electoral reforms. What do you think can be done to eradicate or reduce to the barest minimum violence during the polls? Mr. Eze, that's for you. Can you hear us, Mr. Eze? Okay, it turns out that the lines are playing tricks on us this morning. Could you go ahead with your suggestions?
For example, I remember in the 2000 and the electoral process that brought the election that brought Goodluck Jonathan, I believe. We were here on these channels, and I think that was an innovative panel that channels empaneled, and that was seen all over the world. The feedback were coming in. We strongly recommended that we should go electronic, because that is the only way. I personally championed that process very, very in the very sense that if you look at banking today, or let's take the communications technology area. In the days of NITEL, you did not know that you were accumulating bills until the end of the month they slammed you with maybe 100,000 naira. Then you say, when did I make the calls? But the person spent time greeting all the members of the family in America and telling them how he was dreaming. These are telephone calls. So, but when the per second billing came, you say, hello, I don't have credit, call me back. Or please, let me tell you what I have. I don't have time. I know that you are fine. You do it quick. Okay? You see there was a stimulus response paradigm. In those days of delayed billing, you didn't know. In fact, it also encouraged fraud. What we are saying is that the technology dispersonalizes the process and makes it more efficient.
Let's hope this technology gets us through this time with Mr. Eze. We'd like to get your response, your impression. What do you think we need to do to ensure that we eradicate violence from our polls?
Basically, the further prosecution of anybody who is alleged to have committed electoral offenses, and to ensure that we prosecute such person to finality. Unless that is done, we cannot get it right. That's the only solution.
Do you think politicians will comply with this? Because many point accusing fingers to politicians most times.
The problem is that if we have a very strong police and investigating force in Nigeria, they will make sure that once a person is caught, is investigated and prosecuted. The politicians intervene because we don't have such strong prosecuting and investigative forces. We compromise and they leave off people and they go scot-free. And we now think that it is because of our people to be committing violence. That is not correct.
Could you shed some light on this principle of proportional representation, how you think we can apply it here?
I think coming to the youth, it's not that the electoral law prescribes the age limit for anybody to apply any political position. If that age limit could be lowered, that will accommodate the youth. And then in respect of women, that one requires at least the will of the people to encourage women to come out and contest for elective positions. And in respect of representation, proportional representation, some states have more representations than other states, and we cannot justify that by reference to any census figure. That is what we mean by proportional representation. Using census figure as the only yardstick for the limitation of political constituencies or electoral constituencies. That's the way we can go about making sure that we apply that proportional representation.